All right, guys, welcome back. We're gonna talk a little playoffs, huh?
I'm so excited. I mean, even though our beloved Yankees are out, I
Yeah.
mean, it's still gonna be a good playoff race this year.
Yeah, and you want to know what? I never have. I mean, obviously, being a Yankee fan and all, like being any kind of one team fan. I mean, like it's your team. But I always have a backup team,
Yeah, I mean,
and
who's
my
your
backup team is the Cubs.
same here?
So
Look at that.
101 wins. I mean, the Cubbies might make it. I mean,
I
they
really,
might win this year.
I really hope the Cubbies win. I'm not gonna lie. I went to my first Cubs game. I think I was in fourth grade.
Really? I've never been to a Cubs game ever. I've never even seen them play ever.
Shout out to the Piper family in Chicago. They well, the first time I went to Chicago. Got a layover, and they were like, Mr. Piper called my dad and said, we have 4 tickets. Like, do you and Ann and Sarah and Kate all want to go? And my dad is like, Ann and Sarah are not going to want to go. So, Kate and I will go. So then his son, Ben, who's 4 years older than I am, we all went to the game. It was a day game because at that time they still had no lights. Mm-hmm. And it was the coolest game I've ever seen. Wow. We sat a little bit farther up, but it was like right near, It was farther up, but it was like near home plate, like behind home plate. They were nice seats. It was a lot of fun. Like I had only been to Yankee Stadium at that point, so it was fun to be at a Cubs game.
Right, exactly. I think being baseball fan in general, I'm not just, I say it all the time, but I mean, I'm a baseball fan.
I know.
I could sit and watch any team except for the Red Sox.
Yeah, you and me both.
Play a game, you know what I mean? I've been to Mets games when they played the Phillies. I've been to Mets games when they played Houston. I've been to Mets games when I've been to maybe more Mets games than Yankee games, only because my best friend from high school, Annie Holcomb, shout out, she's like the biggest Mets fan ever, and she's like best friends with David Wright and all this stuff. And like David Wright comes over for dinner, and like she went to David Wright's wedding and danced with Matt Harvey. She is basically everything I want to be.
Right.
Just as a Mets fan, I want to be a Yankees fan like that.
Right.
Do you
exactly.
know what I mean?
No, I got you.
Like I want to have like Brian McCann over for dinner, or, like,
right?
Cash. But like still but. I've been to Mets games with her. She's always taken me, so I've been to more Mets games. But it's a New York team, so it's fine.
It's okay.
But other than that, like just baseball in general, man.
I know.
I was getting. Now that it's coming to an end, I'm gonna be very upset.
You and me both.
I'm a football fan, yes.
Yes. Is it
not? I'm not a fanatic like I am for baseball.
I mean, I love football. I started getting into football only. I think my freshman year of high school when I went to my first Giants preseason game.
Right.
But before that, I didn't care about football. It was always baseball. So
always baseball. My family was always baseball. We never even really. I mean, baseball and football. My aunt is a big football fan. Has a huge Super Bowl party every year with like 30-something people, like baskets, like we raffle off baskets. It's so much fun, and I need to like take a video of that whole entire event and make like a big video of it and put it up somewhere.
You really do.
It's huge. She's been doing it like since I was a baby. So it's gotten to like, high peak, and Super Bowl 50 was like huge because my mom turned 52. She's as old as the Super Bowl. Sorry, Mom, I just told your age. But sorry about that one. But it was a big Super Bowl, especially because it's 50. But football's okay, but baseball's where it's at.
Exactly. So let's talk about who's clinched so far.
Who's clinched it, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we already know that Chicago's raring to go. They clinched a division title and home field throughout the MLB Playoffs. Boston clinched a playoff berth, as well as Texas and the Dodgers, Washington, and Cleveland. They all clinched division titles too, correct?
Yes, they all did. Andrew Miller's getting a chance to go to the playoffs, which he would not have had that chance with the New York Yankees.
Which, see, this is the one thing that I mean, like, it's cool and all, but, like, at the same time, it's like, if you get traded, like, towards the end of the season, you could possibly, and if you're going to a good team, the Yankees are a good team, I don't know why I said that, but, like, a team that's, has playoff possibilities, and then you get to the playoffs, but you were on a team that whole entire season that didn't make it, and now you're all of a sudden on a team that made it.
And he's still got a year left on his contract. Right. Since the Cleveland Indians picked up his contract, they now have got his contract.
Right.
And he's like, okay, that's fine, but, I would rather be back in New York.
Right. But it's like, it's kind of weird as though, and like, what happens if someone say Brian McCann got traded to the Cubs, like a month ago. You're going to the playoffs now, and like, you're the team to 101 wins, and how do you, and what happens if they win?
Exactly.
And you get a ring. Well, you didn't really do much to get them there. So, like, how is that even see, like,
Right.
I think after that trade deadline, that's it.
It is.
No more trades, no more, nothing. Because once that hits, it's like, you're going to be on a team, or you're going to have a teammate that wasn't there the whole entire season, didn't get you to that point, and if you win, they get a ring too.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. I just
right.
Yeah.
I never really understood that.
I know.
And I mean, I also think that there should be a lot more things done to baseball. I think. Shout out to Mike DeMurgis, because I picked this up from him, and I completely agree with him that I think the World Series should be 9 games again.
I
not 7.
really think it should be 9 as well. I mean,
I think it really should be 9 games, and I think also, again, with what Mike DeMurgis said too, I think our season should be shorter.
It definitely should.
I mean, 106 some games is a lot of games.
It's a lot of games, and especially because if somebody gets hurt, you could miss like Greg Bird.
Yeah, you could get hurt in March.
And
and miss all of summer towards the end of August and come back
in September, and then you've done
months of
no
playing.
Exactly. I mean, and we talked a little bit about this with Mike Antonini last week about his injury and how long that could take.
Right.
He was out, I think, from the middle of July all the way to the end of the season, and they were hoping to save his arm for playoffs, which they didn't make. Now his arm is set and ready to go when he plays in Venezuela, but that's still, it's difficult for him.
Which is pretty cool, and also kind of a good thing for Mike too, is because he's kind of, ready to go for Venezuela, and Venezuela's big.
It is.
The talent down there, he's even talking about it, the talent down there is amazing.
It is.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of almost like, I think, like, yes, it sucks, pardon my French, to miss a season with a team and stuff like that, but also knowing that now, and this is in form of Mike, but of Antonini, not Burgess. This is to Antonini, but for him, he's kind of rested, ready to go, ready to take on Venezuela and hopefully do big things down there.
And then get picked up.
Noticed.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like almost kind of worked in his advantage, where he doesn't have to be so tired from that whole season.
Exactly.
Now he gets to Venezuela and he's ready to go.
He's ready to rock and roll.
But we'll see. I mean, I'm super excited. We got the wild cards too. So
Baltimore still in the wild card?
Baltimore and Toronto. Yeah, Toronto's 2 games ahead, plus 2 games. Baltimore's right there. It's Toronto and Baltimore are the 2 teams for the wild card in the American League. Detroit's a game behind. Seattle's 2 games behind. Houston is 2.5 games behind. And our beloved Yankees are 4.
Yeah, they ain't gonna. They're not going.
Which we did such an amazing, 7-game winning streak. I really thought we were on the roll. We're gonna go into it. Let's do it. And then we get to Boston, and it's like hit a wall.
Exactly.
And Boston is a wall this year. I mean, they're they're unbelievable. What do they got? They got 92 wins, 65 losses, and that's amazing. And they were on when they got to us. Well, I went to the game last night, and they were 12-game winning streak getting to us, and we beat them last night. So that's amazing that we ended their streak too. And I think in order to win that game, they're already in
the playoff.
They're already in first place, but I mean, still, it's like, who cares?
Exactly. But, you get to see...
Whoop-de-doo, Boston. You're in first place. Well, join the club.
I mean, you got to see Gary Sanchez's 20th home run last night in 51 games. How special was that?
It was unbelievable. Honestly, I was sitting there, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? Which I gotta tell you, I went with 3 of my friends who, one of them was a Boston fan, and one of them, the other 2 were Mets and Rays fans. So, which is weird because it's like all American League and then it's the National League for my Mets fan friend. But it was such a good crowd to be part of too. And when Gary hit that home run, it was like, before he hit it, I was turning to my friend Kristen, legitimately about to say like, hey, that'd be really sick if Gary hits one right now, huh? And like just cranks it right out. Like I was just staring at this ball and I was like, oh my God. oh my God, this is out. Oh my God, this is out. And I just like stood up and just like screaming. It was unbelievable.
And then Tyler Austin's 2-run home run, which was like the go-ahead for them as Yankees last night.
Yeah, because we were tied 4-4, and it was just like, and I was sitting next to a couple Boston fans too. I was sitting between like a Yankee fan and then like all the Boston fans he was with, and they were just going on and on and on about how they were in first place and how like they're gonna win tonight's game and blah 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 blah. And I was like, all right, buddy, like we got 27 World Series, so I'm not really worried.
Right.
To be completely honest. The closest team to us is the Cardinals, and they have 11. So I'm not really that worried. You know what I mean? I'll take the 27. You guys can have this year if you want it. Take it. Go ahead.
That's fine.
But it's fine. But we have 27, so I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? But I turned to look at them. It was 4-4, and I go, "Hey, you guys think you're gonna win this one?" Like, we got Gary Sanchez. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, "Oh, we got Dustin Pedroia."
Okay, that's nice that you have Dustin Pedroia, but how much has he actually done this year?
Gary Sanchez, and he's pretty clutch this year. I mean, you know, he came towards the end and kind of won it for us. You know what I mean? But you know, not trying to brag or anything. And then Gary Sanchez cranked that home run, and I was just like, we're tied. And then Austin hits a home run. I'm like, we're winning, huh? 6-4.
Right.
6-4.
And then you were there last night with the whole engagement problem.
First off, so I always see engagement every
yeah,
time
they
I
do
go to a game.
They do the birthday and the engagement shout outs, you know.
But it's not all the time at all the games because it's not even that expensive. But
no, it's like $5.
No, it's like a lot more expensive to like.
I know there's one
do
like
an engagement.
The engagement one is different.
Like a lot
for my.
But like for birthdays and stuff, it's not a lot.
I mean,
like
I got
shout outs.
I got mine with my group tickets, so that was free. So.
Yeah. But it was so funny because it says like, "Will you marry me?" Like all this stuff, and I was like. Boy's making the biggest mistake of his life, but you know, but I turned to the guy next to me and I was like, we're talking trash on the the whole engagement thing. I'm not a big like relationship person, like I really don't believe in like marriage and all that stuff. So I was just talking smack on him and everything, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be in prison and like that's basically marriage is like prison and all that. I was talking to this guy about it and everything. And I was like, what would make her, literally, as I said this, I go, what would make her not want to marry him right now? Just out of curiosity. Like, I was talking to this guy, and he goes, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, he looks down at the floor, the guy proposing, he looks down at the floor, and he's like that. I'm like, I think he just lost the ring. I think he just lost the ring. He goes, well, that right there should tell you that she should not marry him. Should not say yes to that guy.
Oh my goodness! I mean, they found the ring. I mean, the amount of interviews that those two got. Like Meredith Morakovitz went over and interviewed them.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Lucky. You should be happy.
If Meredith Morakovitch ever came over to me to interview me, I would be like, you want to go out for dinner too?
Exactly.
I love you, by the way. Like,
right?
She's my idol. Like, I want to be her. I want to be the Yes reporter. But, like, I'd be like, listen, teach me all your ways.
Right.
And we'll be fine. I'll take your job. It's okay.
Exactly.
No,
I mean.
Whatever. She's too good. She's too good at what she does.
But I think.
it was crazy, though.
Yeah.
It was really. And when he found it, it was so weird because I think I don't know who was up. Boston was up at that time. The Yankees were in the field. And everybody starts screaming. And I'm like, woo! Wait, what are we screaming for? I was like, what's going on? And they're like, he found the ring. And I'm like, no, he did not. And they put him up on the Jumbotron. And he's like, I got it. And he puts it on her finger. And I was just like, hey, you should not say yes to that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He basically just lost your engagement ring. But okay, like, whatever. It's fine.
But when we come back, I think we're gonna talk a little bit more about football.
Oh, we're switching over to the gridiron. For
the next segment. We are. We're switching over to the gridiron for the next segment. So we will be back.